take long area with 5 guys. He wanted to send me behind blue box that is here. Mones is killing the guy who wanted to push me
There is
there.
at least one pick back
It is
on
really
the
important kill. Juan Flutter is doing big mistake because he is taking duel 1v1 against me.
5! It's 5 for some reason.
Am I defusing?
Yes. Left. Left. No.
Did we win?
You won.
Yeah! Whoa.
Right, further. Shoot. Left.
We killed him!
No, we killed him.
As recently as a decade ago, earning a living playing video games was considered nothing more than a pipe dream, with limited monetization avenues not just for players, but for game developers and publishers as well. The esports industry itself was still in its infancy, and competitive gaming was little known outside a core group of highly engaged players and fans. However, in the last 10 years, esports has exploded in popularity. As evidenced by Riot Games' League of Legends Championship Series establishing itself as the third most popular sport in the United States amongst 18 to 34-year-olds, only behind the National Football League and the National Basketball Association. Today, esports is flush with money thanks to an explosion of private capital and increasingly deep-pocketed publishers. With the esports industry growing at significant and sustained levels year over year, the existence of full-time competitive esports athletes has exploded, especially as increased competition has exacerbated the need for around-the-clock training and management of top talent. In general, there are 5 primary sources of income for professional gamers: prize money, salaries, sponsorships, live streaming, and video-on-demand content. Prize money. Prize money is the oldest form of making money in pro gaming. If a player places high enough in a tournament, they receive a portion of the tournament's prize pool, similar to conventional sports such as golf or tennis. Prize pools tend to be more prevalent in single-player focused titles, however, team competitions in major tournaments often share prize pools with the players who competed on behalf of the organization. While prize pools have existed in competitive gaming since the early 80s, it has seen its importance fall fairly precipitously in modern competitive gaming given concerns with the viability of such a mechanism as more and more investors in the space push for longer-term and more stable vehicles to generate returns for their investments. After all, if an esports player or organization fails to do well at a given tournament, they may end up losing money by attending. Most major tournaments require that participants travel to a physical venue that may be some distance away from where the team or the competitors are based. Once travel, lodging, entry fees, and meal expenses are incurred, teams or individuals that fail to place well can often be left off worse financially than if they had simply stayed at home. Until the early 2010s, it was a common occurrence for esports professionals to work a full-time job during the week, while competing in events on the weekends. Money was scarce in the early days of esports, and living off non-guaranteed tournament winnings was not a viable solution for most. Salaries. Overwatch League guarantees its players a minimum salary of $50,000, in addition to other benefits. These organizations spearheaded many of the trends that have ultimately led to an increased quality of life for their players, the most important of which is a guaranteed salary. Several years later, esports leagues such as the Overwatch League would expand on the benefits available to those who compete at the sport's highest level. Overwatch's parent organization, Activision Blizzard, has mandated that all players must receive health benefits and access to a retirement plan on top of a $50,000 minimum salary, a total compensation package that is in line with the median in the US. For professional gamers that have historically made a meager living off of prize money alone, having a guaranteed living wage was a huge burden lifted. Competitive salaries meant that players could now focus on doing well in tournaments without the added stress of potentially losing money. Sponsors. Sponsorships are another viable, high-paying source of income for both professional players and streamers. As esports players and streamers became increasingly visible to the broader public and started attracting sizable fan bases, companies not endemic to video games or esports began sponsoring these individuals, as well as teams and leagues, in increasing numbers. Beverage brands such as Red Bull, Monster Energy, and Mountain Dew, and computer companies such as Intel and AMD, all have sponsorships with high-profile players and teams. In turn, the organizations and players endorse their sponsors' products on their Twitch streams and social media, use their products, and feature in commercials. Food, beverage, and computer component and peripheral companies were among the first entities to sponsor gamers given the deep association and direct link with the consumption of video games and related content. These sponsors are typically viewed as natively endemic to space and have had years to realize the returns on their initial investments in space. Perhaps most compelling for the incomes of future professional gamers is the proliferation of non-endemic sponsors in the esports and gaming industries. Mercedes-Benz and Gillette are two high-profile brands previously not affiliated with gaming that have now jumped onto the esports train with large investments. Mercedes-Benz has partnered with the ESL and Gillette has joined forces with Twitch via the Gillette Gaming Alliance. Twitch. Twitch is the most popular streaming platform but faces competition from Facebook Gaming, as well as traditional VOD powerhouse YouTube. Streaming is perhaps the most popular way for non-competitive gamers to make a living in the video game space, while streaming has evolved to include in real-life activities like cooking, watching movies, or just chatting. Gaming was undoubtedly the genesis of this rapidly growing industry, and still represents a significant portion of overall traffic on streaming sites. The most popular streaming platform, Twitch, dominates with approximately 72% of the market. YouTube Gaming has approximately 20% of the streaming marketplace, with Facebook Gaming 5% and Mixer 3% rounding out the remaining notable participants. Twitch subscriptions are broken out into 3 tiers. Tier 1. $4.99 per month. Tier 2. $9.99 per month. Tier 3. $24.99 per month. New Twitch streamers typically share the subscription fee with Twitch under a 50-50 revenue share agreement. The most popular streamers on the network can often renegotiate their revenue share agreement to a more favorable 70-30 split in favor of the streamer. There are 3 subscription tiers in Twitch, with the Tier 1 subscription being the cheapest and most popular. YouTube. Many professional gamers have editors that reduce full, 8 or 10-hour streaming session into a 10 to 20-minute VOD for distribution on YouTube, providing an opportunity for fans who may not be able to watch content in real time to still consume content from their favorite creators. Similar to Twitch, YouTube also has a pay subscription, called a channel membership. However, there is only one tier at a cost of $4.99 a month. YouTube also provides options to accept donations and run ads on the platform, so as long as certain criteria for monetization are met. The Google-owned platform also collaborates with the merchandise brand Teespring, which allows creators to sell their own merchandise directly through the platform. As a result of YouTube's more stringent monetization criteria, a number of content creators have turned to Patreon as an alternative to direct content distribution by YouTube itself, instead offering access to private channels as rewards for monthly subscriptions processed via Patreon.